Hi, good evening, everybody, to this other session of Fire Friday. I'm very excited to be here and to just continue having conversations with you guys, wherever you're watching us from. Thank you very much, whether you're home or whether you're still at work or you're driving home. Thanks for creating the time to just join us. I think we'd really appreciate you for always joining us for these conversations. We appreciate you for actively participating, for always asking questions, for engaging us. Those who watch live and the many who even watch after. So thank you very much. Just before we start, we're going to pray. It's always good to just commit what we do to God. Yeah, so I'm going to pray. Let's pray. Our dear Father, we come before you this evening. Lord, we want to thank you so much for this evening. Thank you for the gift of life. And thank you for the privilege just to see another day. We don't take it for granted because truly life is in your hands. We thank you for continuing to teach us, even on different issues around investments and just to help us get better. Thank you for today's session. I thank you for everyone who's joining us live and those who will watch us later. I just pray that this will be an interactive session. I pray that we will participate and we will all, grow and become better people as a result of this. Be with us. May your presence be with us as we start, even throughout the session. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Amen. Karibuni sana for joining us. Last week we were talking about due diligence. Perhaps one of our, I'd say not a very easy subject, but I'd just like to say thank you to everyone who watched it. Thank you for sharing. We've gotten very many views. And I'd just like to encourage you that if you didn't watch the session on due diligence, I'd like to encourage you to just find time and watch it. I think just because of the importance of due diligence in every decision you make, whether it's investing with Savo, whether it's investing with another company, or buying whatever it is that you need to buy, or engaging with any person as a supplier, as a service provider, due diligence is very important. So I'd like to just encourage all of us that in case you missed it, please try and find time to watch it. Today's session should be a little easier, I hope a bit more fun than last week. We're going to be talking about starting with why. The topic in itself may not be really fun, but I pray we will make it fun. I pray we will, ask questions as we go along. We'll just have like a really good conversation, even as we ask ourselves, what is it? What does the word start with the why? What does it mean? Why is the why important? So I think we can start. Yes, so in anything that you do, if you don't understand the why behind what it is that you're doing, it becomes very difficult to do it. It becomes a bit challenging to do it. You can easily get demotivated. You can easily get distracted even on the way because perhaps the why is not very clear to you. But in everything that you do, if you know the why, then it becomes very easy. Then it's what will make you get out of bed every morning. It's what will keep you motivated. It's what will keep you pushing. It is what will allow you to even cross the hurdles that come in life. Because life can get difficult. But if you know your why, and I'd like to call our why for whatever it is you're doing, your purpose. What is your purpose? What is your cause? What is your beliefs? What is it that you're working towards? What are you trying to achieve? So that's what I think why is. Really, what is your purpose for? Even generally, allow me to say, what's your purpose for your life? Rick Warren wrote a book, Purpose-Driven Life. I think God created us for a specific purpose. And it would be beautiful if we were all able to know what exactly is your purpose for whatever season in your life, because it will make your life a lot more enriching. But many of us don't ask the question why. Many of us, we do things and we don't know why we do what we do. I remember our son, the older one called Michael, when he was young, he used to really ask many questions. And you'd ask him to do something and he'd say, why? You'd ask him to do something else, he'll ask you why. So continuously, he just kept asking why. And I think that applies to many kids. Kids don't just do. They keep pushing. They'll want to push the envelope a little. Why do you want me to do this? And unfortunately, as mothers, I don't think we give good questions. With good answers, we will say, because I'm your mother, or because I said so. How helpful is that to a child? May God, may God help us. Yeah, that's the easy answer. But it's not the right answer. I think even from an early age, we should encourage the children to ask why. And we should answer the why. Then they learn to ask why in life. Even now in our adult years, a lot of times when you meet your colleagues or people you're in school together, the first thing they ask you is, what do you do? So many of us know the what. I'm an accountant, or I'm a banker, or I'm a customer service consultant, I'm an architect. That's the what. But why do you do what you do? We don't ask ourselves that question. And if we could ask ourselves that question, then it would make being the accountant much easier, more fulfilling, have more meaning, because you'd be working towards a bigger goal. Allow me to just check here and see what we have. Let me see YouTube. Very many people have joined. Thank you, Nguhi Mturi. Nguhi says, when you know the why, the how is workable. Very true. Tuned in, I can't wait for more knowledge. Mr. Mcharo, honey, thanks for joining. Tune in from Taita. Mr. Mcharo has been in Taita. He's enjoying the nice Taita weather. We hope he'll be coming soon. Mdalasani, I have been trying to figure out my why for a while now. I'm super excited about today's topic and ready with my pen and notebook to take notes. Yes, thanks, Mdalasani. Then Savo, we welcome you. Let's see, Mwetas in Instagram, karibuni sana. Yes, Facebook, let me check what we have on Facebook. A number of people have joined. Thank you, Japheth, Madaka, Fire. Thanks for joining. We can continue. A story is told about some builders. They were building a cathedral. I think they were building St. Paul's Cathedral. And there were three men. So one was asked, what are you doing? And he said, I'm laying bricks. He actually said, this is what I am doing. You know, when you ask, what exactly are you doing? And he said, I'm laying bricks. So to him, that was it, laying bricks. The second person was asked, and he said, I'm building a wall. Yeah, so to him, the wall, that was the end to itself. And the third person said, I'm building a cathedral. Of those three people, unfortunately, you can't answer me, but you can answer me on Komtandao. Who do you think was more inspired to do what he was doing? I think the person who said, I'm building a cathedral, because he could see the final picture. He could see the big picture. He could see why was he doing what he was doing. He said he was building a cathedral. So what are we doing? What is Emily doing? Am I just an accountant? Or am I just building amazing apartments? What am I doing? What is my purpose? And I would like that even when, one day we ask all the people who work with us, especially even on the building side, the people who actually laid the bricks, when they're asked, what are they doing? My prayer is they'll be able to know the bigger purpose for what they're doing and not just building a wall. And I pray that becomes all of us as we continue with this conversation. As a family, Mtara and I, from the early days, I think we have talked about our desire to become financially independent many times. And that is what kept us moving. That is what drove most of our decisions. That is what enabled us to even be frugal in our lifestyle. That's what allowed us to save, invest, because we had a purpose. At the beginning, we have talked about, just wanting to take our kids to Harvard. That was our why at the time. Then it transformed, it became financial independence. That was our why. And that made it so much easier to do all the things that we did. It probably cult from someone looking at it from the outside, but because we knew our why, it made it so much easier. I think increasingly, recently, we've actually sat down and really clarified what our purpose is. Even as a couple, I think one day we will have a discussion about our purpose for our marriage. Because even marriage gets difficult. If you don't know the why for your marriage, it can get difficult and you would want to give up perhaps. But if you know the why, then it becomes so much easier. I don't want to go into the details of our purpose. It will be good to have a session on that when Mr. Mcharo is here. So we'll do that day. But on marriage, I just remember one day in church, we go to Nairobi Chapel, and one of the pastors was just telling us about a season they were in with his wife and they had gone for holiday. And the wife told him, I need you to realize that this marriage is not about you. This marriage is about God. So for her, it was very clear, the purpose for their marriage. She had no doubt about it. And a lot of us, our marriage is about me as Emily. But it's not. Yeah. So I think of all the sermons that I've had in church from that pastor, I think that's stuck in my head, and it always comes back, because that lady knew whatever it is they were going through, it wasn't about her, it wasn't about him, it was about God. And when you have such clarity, it just becomes a lot easier. So yes, yeah, but that's for them. I'd like us to go to Savo a little and just talk about, what is our why in Savo. So many of us have perhaps either watched in the video or read our material, and our purpose as Savo is to enable investors to achieve financial independence. Yes, I'd just like to repeat that. I'm sure we have heard it. We have said it many times, but it is said that leadership is the art of repetition. So I'll just repeat it again. So our purpose is to enable investors achieve financial independence through low risk, high return, amazing, affordable investments, right? So that's our purpose. And when we were able to clarify that purpose, it made it so easy for us. We have our purpose and we have our core values. And our core values are discipline, partnership, experience, and value innovation. I won't go into a lot of the detail around it. But our purpose and our core values, those make our core. So Savo is about that. Our purpose, our core values. It is not about the amazing, affordable investments. It's not about AAA. We call them AAA. It's not about the product. It's not about the buildings. It is about financial independence. So our purpose and our core values can never change or will never change. That is what we live for. That is what I'd say, called to do, to enable investors achieve financial independence. And just clarifying that and knowing that this cannot change. And also knowing that this is like the sun for us. It doesn't move. Everything else can move. Everything else can change. Even our product can change. Because it's possible to enable investors achieve financial independence through something else. We love affordable, amazing apartments. We love them. And for now, that's our product. But it can change. The only thing that cannot change is our purpose. So what has the purpose helped us? How has it helped us? As in, it has made our decision-making very, very easy. Everything you see around and about Savo is because of that purpose. I'll give you some examples. Our price point. Why is our pricing very different from the price points of other developers? It's because we intend to enable investors become financially independent. So we have a price point that many investors can be able to afford. And then we have a payment plan. So we realize that maybe the price might be a little high. So we want you to achieve financial independence. So we allow you to pay over a period of time. That's a payment plan. Again, that goes towards enabling you to become financially independent. Then we know that, okay, so you have come, you have bought a unit, and perhaps it's complete, but you don't have a tenant. How is that going to help you become financially independent? Again, that will not allow you to become financially independent. So we have Savo Lifestyle, or what we call, we offer property management services. So it's our intention that immediately we finish building, we work with you and help you to get a tenant. And once you get a tenant, then you're able to start earning an income from your investments. And that's what is going to help you to become financially independent. So those three things, there's a lot more that I perhaps will share on just Savo, but those three things that we have a price point that you can be able to, that is reachable to many of us. We have a payment plan that enables you to pay over time. And then we offer you property management that will enable you to get a tenant and start earning a return from your investment. That is in line, is totally in line with our purpose, right? Let me see if we have some questions, and then we continue. We start with we start with YouTube. Nguhi, true, the day I realized why, almost everything became easy. That's true. A number of people are just saying fire, 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 which is very nice. Thank you, guys. Oh, Peace. Peace has joined us on Facebook. Peace. Thank you, Peace. Peace says, bring it on. We are ready. Peace is a dear friend. I used to work with her somewhere. Yvette, karibu sana. Amen. Thank you. Jafet, Madeka. Thank you. Yeah. So we don't have any questions yet, so we can just continue. So those are the three things I wanted to talk about Savo. Some other things that our purpose has helped us with. Now, when you're selling any product, it's very easy to sell the product and not the why. It's very easy to say, come and invest in these affordable, amazing apartments, right? It's very easy to tell someone, come and become a landlord. I remember when I went to the UK and we did some posters. And I think one of them said, come and become a landlord, invest and become a landlord, something like that. And that was wrong. Many times we've had debates here and we're saying, we need to push the financial independence message. So if we are even doing marketing, our marketing should talk about financial independence. But at the beginning, it was very hard for people to relate with this subject. So we would, have our financial independence message in the website. But guys are like, when you look at your website, we don't quite get it. Because we were selling, we were trying to bring them the why. We were trying to, sort of speak about the why more than the product. But I thank God for Mr. Mcharo, because he's always been just persistent. Let's stick to the why. Let's stick to the why. It might take time for people to come and invest, but let's stick to the why. But now, I think Savo, we are known for financial independence. So, and it's become very easy that, when somebody hears a financial independence message, they're then able to come and invest in the product. But when they're investing with us, it's because they understand the why, which is very important. And we've also just learned from that. People will not buy your what? They will not buy your product. They will buy your why after they have believed in your why. So it's our prayer that many of our investors will just, in time, really, really understand our why and truly believe in our why and then invest with us. Now, if you understand the why, for example, for Savo, you will not buy one studio and then the conversation ends there. No. Because the target is to be financially independent. So you'll buy the first one, and the first one will not make you financially independent. So you'll buy the first one, and then you will buy the second, and then you buy the third. You will realize it's actually a journey towards financial independence. So the ultimate is not that first studio. Because if you don't understand financial independence, yes, you can buy the first studio. When you finish paying for it, guys, remember consumerism. The decision of buying a second one will not be as easy, because you'll be thinking, now I can and buy something else and buy a car or go on holiday or whatever. Just because you don't believe the financial independence and buying the unit. But if you understand the financial independence message, you want a second and a third. I met a lady, she passed by the office. I think she's been following us online, and now she's at a place where she wants to invest. And I think when she came and she met me, she was just excited to meet me. And she said, my financial independence number in units is 30 units. And I was very excited. This is someone I have never met. I have not sat down and had a conversation with her, but she's just been following us online. And she has believed in the financial independence journey. She has established that her number is 30. and she wants to start the journey of investing now towards that number of 30. And I thought that's amazing. I thought that's really amazing. So I hope that, yeah, many of us will really understand the why. Now, there are other things we do that are really driven by our why. I'll give you an example. Our Fire Friday. Why do we have Fire Friday? It's driven by our why. So our Fire Friday is not, here's a brochure, 2 million, 3 million. You know, we have different topics. It's to really help us understand our why and encourage you to even maybe perhaps sit down and understand your why from different perspectives. Your why from your career perspective, your why from an investment perspective. What's your purpose? What's your purpose in life? And therefore, what are the things you need to do to start working towards your purpose? The other thing is our compensation structure. Even our compensation structure, sort of like our reward system, it really, really is tied to our why. It's really tied to our purpose. And we encourage all our servers, those who work with us, that they should be able to, let me just say, get cured from consumerism. Yeah. So we keep encouraging them so that they also can become financially independent. And we've said before that financial independence is a mindset. So just working with them to change their mindset, for them to believe the message, and then work towards become financially independent. And I think all our serverites believe in the financial independence message, and the compensation structure is also aligned to that. Finally, our disciplines, our financial disciplines. And when I talk about our financial disciplines, it's from the angle of how do we manage our cash flows? How do we manage our project cash flows? I think that's also really, really tied to the financial independence message. And I'll tell you why. Our purpose is to enable the investor to become financially independent. I therefore cannot in any way be careless about funding our projects, completing our projects, because I desire that, or my purpose is to make you to become financially independent. I therefore cannot in any way do anything that will jeopardize that journey for my investors. So that in itself just makes us a lot more disciplined in terms of our financial disciplines, our financial practices. It makes us, as we continue, want to grow buffers, make sure we have enough cash flows that we will never get to a place where we are struggling with a project because of cash flows. Because immediately we get to that place, you as an investor, we'll be coming in the way of you becoming financially independent, and it will be going against our purpose. So yes, so those are some of the things that that we have done in Savo. And I'll tell you, sometimes we have heated debates. Maybe we think of changing the model a little, or making a decision, whatever decision it is, and the question we always ask ourselves, is it in line with our purpose? So whatever decision it is, 1 second. Okay. I think we have a challenge a little, 1 minute. Oh, it's not good. There's that? Oh, so people are not hearing. It's clear. Okay, we continue? We continue. Sorry guys, we had a little technical hitch. I think the sound wasn't very good. Yeah, our apologies for that. I hope it's a bit better. If you can hear us, maybe just drop us a message. I hope it is a little better. Sorry for that. I'll just try and see any comments on this side. Peace, okay, fair package at Savo, one-stop shop. Yes, it's one-stop shop. Just because, you know, you invest, after you've invested, you know, you have a payment plan that allows you to pay over time, and then we offer you property management. So it's a one-stop shop. You don't really need to, you know, go through the headache of looking for tenants. So thanks, Peace, for that. Tune in from Rongai. Wanjiru video blurry, sorry about that. I hope it's a little better. It's better, but there is a buzz sound. Yeah, sorry for that. We'll just continue as they try and sort it out. Yeah, some people have told me it's audible now. Thank you guys. Let me see on YouTube, anything on YouTube. Let's see. Okay, Abed, thanks for joining. Guhim Turi. Just a minute. Oh, there's lots of comments. I just hadn't seen them. Oh, so there's financial awareness with Martha. Our purpose as Savo is to enable investors achieve financial independence. Now, Martha works with us. She's a Savorite. So she believes in the financial independence message to the extent that she has started, I don't know whether it's a YouTube channel, but she has started something that talks about financial awareness. Something of, you know, of her own, out of her own sort of initiative, just because she truly believes in the financial independence message. So yes, I just wanted to mention that. Mr. Mcharo, your why makes your decision-making process easy. However hard the situation, focusing on purpose clarifies your decision and direction. That's very true. There are times when I can be in a dilemma and I'd call him and tell him, I'm trying to think about this, I don't know what to do. And he would never tell me what to do. He'll just ask a question that's based either on our purpose, and he'll from first principles. Like every time, he doesn't have to ask himself, should I, shouldn't I? What are the pros and cons? There's already a purpose. So he just goes back to the purpose. Yes, that's Mr. Mcharo for you. Martha, again, make your decisions, actions around your purpose. That is true. Mr. Mcharo, as a leader, sharing the why focuses the whole team to the purpose. Now, if you are a leader and you're running your own business, even that you're running a home, if the people you are working with understand your purpose, so you've shared it with them and shared it with them, I will repeat that leadership is the art of repetition. So there are many companies out there that have a purpose, and many of us call our purpose vision. And it's just written, there's a vision, there's a mission statement. Many companies have that. But if you really asked those you work with, what is the purpose of this company? Many times we do not know. So if you're running a company, or you're working with a group of people in whatever setting, if they understand the purpose, it makes it so much easier. There's something in Savo we call the relay. So the relay is, in simple terms, it's really teamwork, and just the understanding that what I do affects the next person and what they do affects the other person. So everybody has a role that affects the ultimate purpose. So just because everybody understands our purpose, it makes that relay very easy. It's very easy. I know I need to do my bit, and I need to do it very well and pass the baton to the other person in the relay. And it is my responsibility that I never pass, I'll call it a defective product. I never pass anything to the next person that is defective, either without enough information or not well done. It is my responsibility that I pass it when it's well done, just because we are all working towards the bigger purpose. So everybody you're working with understanding your purpose makes your organization the work in your organization very easy. The internal people you work with, and even the I don't want to call them outsiders, but partners, the people you partner with, even your customers. If our desire is that if you came to Savo in time and met the important gentleman at the gate, maybe the security guy, and you ask him, what are you doing? It is my prayer that he will not say, I am the security guy or my work is opening the gate. He will actually say his work is to enable investors achieve financial independence. That's my prayer. A story is told of, an interview in NASA a while back, NASA with the efforts to, take people to the moon. And a journalist went and met this gentleman and asked him, what do you do? What is NASA doing? And this guy went on and on and on for 30 minutes explaining what NASA does. And then at the very end, the journalist asked this gentleman, and what do you do for NASA? He, what is your role in NASA? And that gentleman was a janitor. But he understood the purpose of NASA entirely, and yet he was a janitor. So if you're running an organization, how many times does the person who is even in the finance department, how many times do they just know I'm an accountant? And for them, that's it. Leave alone the security guy, leave alone the janitor. That even your accountant, the only thing they know is that they're an accountant. So I think sharing your purpose is very important. In your organization, with the people you work with, in your family, with your, perhaps with your children, with the people in your family, just sharing your purpose. It makes it much easier. Sorry? Okay. Sorry, guys. Looks like they need to sort out the sound again. We are back. Our sincere apologies, guys. I think we're just struggling with the sound. We've not been able to sort out the buzz. I hope we'll be able to just continue, and I hope you'll hear us, even with the buzz, but our apologies. Lapsi, thank you. Love this topic. Thank you very much. Mr. Mcharo, again, sticking only to the why seems slow at first, but trust the process. Once customers understand your why, they will stick with you for the long haul. That's very true. It's said that your customers don't buy your product, they buy your why. They buy why you do what you do. even if at the beginning they look like they're buying your product, ultimately, for you to get customers who really stick with you in the long haul, they must understand your why and only buy from you or work with you or invest with you because they understand your why. And again, the why takes time. If that's what, you know, if your marketing message is really talking about your why, it might take time because it takes time for people to really understand it or believe it. But ultimately, it's the best way. Ndoria Moredi, because of you and Mr. Mcharo, my wife and I were able to come up with a financial independence number. Oh, thank you, together with your wife. That means you possibly already have financial oneness with your wife. There's an episode I was listening to. It's called Sober Sunday by Pastor M. And the last Sunday, I remember one of the ladies said, she was being asked about this, you know, financial oneness even in marriage. And she asked, is your money married? Something like that. So yeah, the two of you are married, but is your money really married? So it's very important to have financial oneness. I remember Michael was asking me just the other day, we were coming to work, and he asked me, would you encourage couples to have different bank accounts? Yeah, if you're advising a young person, would you encourage them to have different bank accounts, you know, between husband and wife? And I told him I don't need to answer that question. I don't even need to tell you whether you should have different bank accounts or not. I just think you just need to have one purpose. And for Ndoria, now that you actually have even a financial independence number, whether you have two accounts or not, in my opinion, is neither here nor there. You have a purpose and your oneness from a financial sense. And that then just removes that question. And if, according to your purpose, you need to have one bank account, you will then automatically have one bank account without fighting or without arguing about it. Yeah? Mr. Mcharo, your why will turn off some people, but that's okay. Focus on those who resonate with your purpose. That's true. Nguhimturi, supposing I have a how and it looks doable, achievable, is it wise to search deep for a why? Of course, backing up with reasonable facts. Yes, it is important to, it is wise to search deeply for the why. I think a lot of times when you have the how or even the what, it could be short-lived. But if you understand the purpose, it just makes it so much easier, even in the difficult times. And when you have a how, when that how stops working, so do you stop? I hope that makes sense, right? Because the how is a tactic. The how is, the how is a tactic. The how of getting whatever it is. So when it stops working, then, so I would advise, or that I would just say, Muturi, that it is actually wise to search deep for the why. And when you search deeply enough, you will be able to find it. Hannah, thanks. Jen, I think Jen Buya, in your opinion, how much rental income should one aim to be financially independent? Should one peg this rental income to current salary or my monthly budget? Okay. Jen, allow me to answer it a little differently. I wouldn't tell you how much rental income you should aim to have to be financially independent. I would ask you, you see what Mr. Muturi said here, not Muturi, Moredi said, that he has been able to work on a financial independence number with his wife. Jen, I would like to encourage you to first think through your financial independence number. And your financial independence number is an amount of money that you can earn from passive cash flows, and in this sense from rental income, that is able to meet your needs, your wants, and your desires, right? From passive income and not from your salary. So whatever that financial independence number is, that is the amount of rental income that you should be working towards. Yeah? So that number is different from Ndoria's, for example. Ndoria Moredi's would definitely be different from yours, Jane, because perhaps your needs, your wants, and your desires are different. Yeah? So you need to determine your financial independence number. Once you have done that, then start working towards getting rental income that is equal to that. Not salary, but rental income or passive cash flows. Okay, I hope I've answered you, Jen. Then Guhimturi, focus on those who resonate connect with your purpose. Mr. Mcharo, that's true. It works best. Imagine if I had Savorites here we are working with who do not believe in financial independence. It makes it very hard. For example, assume it's a F.I.R.E partner. A F.I.R.E partner is the person who speaks to our investors. And if they don't believe in the financial independence message, it becomes a little difficult. So yes, work with those who, yeah, Helen, Atieno, very important. Jen, again, since Savo Investment is a husband-wife company, does it have other independent players such as board of management for oversight purposes? Okay, so it's that, and because we started with the purpose, then after we got the purpose, we started thinking about the how, and we had to craft our business model. We had to read a lot and come up with a business model and actually come up with a model that works. So we decided we're going to take some time to craft that first, and then after that, we're going to get a board. So that's something that's a conversation that we're currently having, right? But our board, I would say, is the entire Savo team. So we don't make decisions, Mcharo and I, by ourselves. I see you said husband and wife. The decisions made at Savo are not made by Mcharo and I, no. The decisions made at Savo, I'd say, are made by all the staff we work with contribute to the decisions that we make. And they all have a right to, they all have with, and we've been discussing with our purpose. And that's someone we work with. And immediately they ask that question. That idea is just shelved because clarity, it is not in line with our purpose, so shelve it. So that's what I would tell you, Jen. Yes, so we will have a board very soon. But even in the interim, by Mcharo and I, the decisions are made by. I think we end up with fantastic decisions. You'll find we get brilliant ideas because young people have brilliant ideas. They're not stuck in their ways like perhaps Mcharo and I. So they come up with brilliant ideas that we are then able to consider and adopt. A lot of the very brilliant ideas we've had have not been from us. They've actually been from the Savorites. Yeah, thanks, Jane. Martha, it is better. We are back online. Oh, thanks. Oh, the sound is better. That's good. We thank God. Thanks for that feedback. Evans, what process did you use to clarify your purpose? What signs the why needs refinement? Or what are the signs to look at to know that your why needs refinement or change? Okay, so what process did you use to clarify your purpose? Let me not talk about our purpose as a couple, but our purpose, for the business. So we had our purpose at the beginning, which was, financial independence for us as a family. So on the back of that, we then came up with the purpose for Savo, that we have invested in real estate over 15 years and we become financially independent. Can we help other Kenyans to become financially independent, leveraging on the knowledge, the experience that we had for 15 years? Hence, our purpose as Savo. So you'll notice it is financial independence, and the through is affordable, amazing apartments because we have expertise in apartments. But the purpose in and of itself is financial independence. So that was really, really, really sort of driven by the journey that we had walked for 15 years with Mr. Mcharo. Yeah. Okay, there's a buzz, but you can hear you. Thanks, Ivan Swangaramaina. Audible with a buzz. So sorry, guys. So sorry. We'll try next time that we don't end up there. Mr. Mcharo, as the team sorts out the sound, do you have a purpose? Okay. Do you have the purpose, the work you do, something like that? Have you thought through the specific purpose for your marriage? Is there a purpose in your key relationships? That's a good question from Mr. Mcharo. So what's your purpose as an individual? What's your purpose? What's your purpose in your marriage? I mean, we all know, finish at some point, get married. But what's the purpose of I don't think it's getting children. Sometimes you say getting children, companionship. But it could be bigger than that. So what's the purpose of your marriage? What's the purpose of when you go to work, maybe you're employed, what's your purpose? You're running a business, what's your purpose? Very, very critical question to ask. Paul, this topic truly clarifies for me why financial independence should become everyone's purpose, above and beyond other life purposes. Indeed, one can't let up just a step in the ladder. Thank you, Paul Agunda. I think Paul is one of our investors. Thank you, Paul. Yeah, are your investments and business deals completely aligned to your purpose? Again, a very important question. I think Charo talked here about at some point we wanted to buy a truck or a lorry, and it was totally not in line with our purpose. And just because we asked those questions, we didn't end up making a decision that we were going to regret later. So yes, maybe it's critical that you just ask yourself, is what you're doing in line with your purpose? Isaac, starting with the why is very key. How does the why help a business or an individual when going through difficult times? Yes, good question. If you have clarity of your why, I've thought of something. This is just an off topic. When I was in high school, I think at some point, after I had clarity of what I wanted to do, of course, high school, that clarity was that I wanted to go to campus. In Form 3, I literally woke up and put, it was hard to read early morning at 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. I'd wake up and put my feet in cold water just so that I could catch up and be able to pass and go to campus. This is a very, like on a light touch, and it's because I used to go for tuition somewhere, and there's this gentleman, he's called Mr. Minishi. I mean, may God bless him. Maybe I am a lot of who I am because he encouraged me a lot when it came to studies. And I think when Mr. Mcharo met him once, he went to him to tell him, thank you for encouraging my wife to study. So he told me, we used to go for tuition somewhere, and of course, it's at home, it's boys and girls. And he told me one day, these boys here I keep seeing you working with, they are not going to be your husband. Your husband is at the university. Imagine a statement like that, and I was like, hey, I have to go to campus. So as difficult as it was to read, I had a purpose to go to campus. I would put my feet in cold water to read. So Isaac, yes, when you have a clear purpose, the challenges will come, the difficult times will come, but you will have clarity that I need to achieve this purpose, and that is what will inspire you. That is what will motivate you, and that's what will keep you going. Yeah. But without that purpose, it's very easy to give up. It's very easy to say, it's too difficult. I can't handle this, just because you don't have a purpose. Yeah? Then Jen, again, apart from rental income, which other passive income can you advise someone to invest complementary to the rental income so as to become financially independent? So passive income is anything that you don't need to work for. So you've invested, you wake up in the morning, and your account has been credited by X amount. So you've not actively worked for it that day. That is what passive income would be. So I'd say, let me perhaps say what might not be passive income. Like running a business perhaps requires you full-time. That's not passive. Even if you put somewhere there who's running it and not directly you, that's still not passive because it requires your time. So that's not passive. And the risks of like a business are very many. I wouldn't call that passive. I wouldn't call farming passive. Of course, automatically employment, your day job, where you're exchanging your time for an income, that's definitely not passive. If you invested if you bought government securities, that would be passive because you take your money, give it to government, and they would pay you interest every 6 months. And at the end of the period, say for example, 5 years or 10 years, depending on the tenor you have selected, they will give you back your principal. That would be passive income. Yeah, the only thing I say about government securities is just check on inflation because you earn an income, you earn interest. Yes, you earn interest, but at the end of the tenor, you invested 10 million, you will get 10 million back. So value of money in 10 years from today is not the same as value of money today. So by that time, perhaps inflation would have eroded ideally the interest you would have made, just because the value of 10 million 10 years from today will not be the same as today. Yeah. So if you invested in government securities, I'd call that passive. If you invested in the stock exchange So you're buying shares, I'd call that passive as well, because you give your money to a broker, they buy for you shares, and then, yeah, you sit and wait. Hopefully that you will invest in companies that will pay dividends, that will give you cash flows periodically, and you also invest in companies that their stock price will keep increasing and not fall. Yeah, because if the prices fall, you not only lose the investment you made, you can actually lose all of it or lose some of it, depending. But if you invest in a stock that's performing very well, then you would be able to make some passive cash flows on that. Again, equities, you just really need to educate yourself. You really need to know which companies, why, what are the fundamentals of that company, is it going to survive? You don't want to invest in, I think Uchumi was delisted, so anyone who had invested in Uchumi, they lost the money they had invested there. So just understanding, I'm investing in this stock, why am I investing in this stock? Yeah. So those are some of the passive investments, I would say. Of course, things like bank, putting your money in a bank and earning a little interest. But why do that? I mean, the banks will pay you what? 3% perhaps. So you get some interest income, which is passive income, but it's very, very little, and your principal is not growing. Yeah. Thanks, Jen. Yeah, I think I can check. Let me check Facebook. Let me see if I have any questions here. It's better, but there's whatever. Much better. Much appreciation to you, Emily Mcharo. That's Jafet Madeka. Thank you. Let's see, Instagram. Yes, no, we don't have any question on Instagram. Yeah, so I think that's the questions we had until now. Time is running out. We are coming to a close. So what are the benefits of having your why? We've said, number one, clarity. That's a big one. Number two, inspiration. That it inspires you every day. Of course, more fulfilling life or more meaningful life, because you're working towards a bigger purpose, and it makes what seems very hard much easier. So those are the benefits of having your why and really clarifying it. So I'd just like to ask us some questions. What are we struggling with in this season in our life? I think some of the questions here, we've talked about consumerism and the need to save, the need to invest. And one of our sisters even said, let's try and have a consumerism challenge. And it's very clear that it is very hard to save, to invest because of consumerism, right? So my encouragement to us, even as we go through that, or even maybe perhaps debt, yeah? Maybe you're struggling with debt, either a big debt for big consumerism items, what Ms. Amcharo calls conspicuous consumerism, or maybe it's even your marriage. You're struggling for one reason or another. My suggestion is to sit back and ask yourself, what is my why? What is my purpose? Or even you're struggling at work. You're working somewhere and you don't feel fulfilled. You're not happy. Things are not working out for you well. If you sat down and asked, what is my why? What is my purpose? And searched deep enough, you will find it. And once you find it, it will make all these challenges so much easier. They'll cease to be challenges. In fact, you will know, like us in Savo, when I come here every day, I know I will meet a challenge that I've never met before, and it is okay. And I'm going to deal with it. So whatever challenges you have, once you've clarified your purpose, it just becomes so much easier to overcome those difficulties. Yeah? So that's my encouragement to us. I don't know whether we have any other questions. I think we don't have any other questions. So if you're able to do that, clarify your purpose, and then start working towards it. If you're an entrepreneur and you're running a business, what's your purpose? Maybe it's actually a profitable business. So far, so good. But have you clarified your purpose, even for that business? Is it possible to take time off and just say, can we clarify our purpose again? And after you have clarified your purpose and you're the leader, ask yourself, is this compelling enough, even for those that I work with? Is this purpose compelling enough? And can I share it with those who I work with, right? And can I share it and ensure there's alignment, even to the purpose that we have? We've read some books about, there's a book called Built to Last, and it talks about companies that have existed for years and years and years. And one of the things that the book says is those companies had a clear purpose. They had a clear core. This is our core. As far back as 50 years ago, 100 years ago, but that core has remained. And they've continued towards, they've continued working towards that core. And that's why they are big companies, and that's why they're still there even to date. And some of the companies we studied, you'd find if they lost their purpose along the way, because sometimes you have a founder who's very passionate about a purpose, then growth comes, and you start making a lot of money, and you forget the purpose, and it becomes about growth. It's always a matter of time before that company starts going down, because people forget their why, people forget their purpose. So I'd just like to encourage us, if you're an entrepreneur, go back, sit down, and try and find out what your purpose is. And then start, share it with your team. If it's possible, actually develop that purpose together with your team. Then you have a lot more buy-in. And decide what are these things that are core to us. The purpose, the core values, what are these things that are core to us? That everything else can change. Our products can change, our strategies can change, but this purpose will remain the same. And that is what will help you have an enduring company. As an individual as well, clarifying that purpose for yourself is what will help you become successful. It's what will help you have a meaningful life. It's what will help you become a happy person, right? And just have something that you're doing while here on earth that is meaningful, that is impactful, and perhaps is the purpose that God created you for. So that's my closing remarks. Thank you very much, guys. I think there's one comment here from Mr. Mcharo. Let your why not be a goal or a dream. Let it be an understanding. Understanding exactly why you do what you do, give you clarity that silences all the noise. And the noise here could be all the difficulties. However hard it may seem, know your why. Andrew Ondimu, thank you for hosting these sessions. They're very informative. Thank you, Andrew. So thank you, guys. Thank you very much. I think this has been a good session. It is 7 p.m. now. Apologies once again for the little sound issue we had. But thank you for joining us. I pray that we will all start asking, what's my why? In everything that you do, in your personal life, in your career, in your marriage, that we start asking ourselves, what's your why? And yeah, life will be a lot better. So thank you. I pray that you will have a good night and a lovely weekend. Please share with others. Andrew says that these sessions are very informative. So please share with your friends and family. I'm looking forward to seeing you next week on Friday. God bless you all. Bye-bye.